Next up, Sarah Reed from the class of 2003. Sarah was a four-year starter who shattered school records in her very first year in high school. 4 other freshman starters joined her that year to help compile a best ever 19-2 season. Her career from 2000 to 2003 marked a 4-year 66, 12, and 16 record. Sarah was also a 4.0 student at Fruitport and graduated from Miami University with highest honors. She went on to earn her doctorate in psychology from Michigan State in 2014. She is currently an assistant professor of psychology at Auburn University. Here's more on Sarah Reed.
Well, I think I was always inclined to numerous sports. When I was very young, I was a gymnast and did gymnastics and ballet, tap dance for maybe 8 years. And I also played basketball. I played basketball until I realized I wasn't going to grow any higher than 5'1" and decided to shift sports.
During the summer, would wear ourselves out on the tennis court and get just beat red from the sun. And I don't remember winning a lot of times when I played against Sarah in tennis. I think she could have picked pretty much any sport and she would have excelled at it. But once she hit high school, she stayed competitive and she stayed committed to just soccer and played that year round essentially. And a lot of that we played together. And I think that really helped develop her as the stronger player in the area too.
So I had parents who took the time and the energy and who had the resources to travel all across the state, all across the Midwest for all these various events, and to also be my biggest cheerleaders. And they did that with my brother and sister as well. So they were very, very busy. But I was very fortunate then that I was able to grow up at a time in which those opportunities were available to me, and then to have people who provided those opportunities for me.
When she came, there was a number of good athletes that came with her, and we were really, at that point, we either didn't have athletes or we didn't have athletes who could play soccer. So we had soccer players who weren't necessarily all athletic, and then Sarah was one of the first in that group of girls that she was just really athletic. She was hyper competitive, which probably bodes well with her today, but she was competitive, and when you put her in the mix, she would fight for whatever she could fight for, and her athleticism just brought something different to our program. We weren't there yet. We weren't competitive. We wanted to win, but I think we also were pretty much fixed in the world of let's have a great time and see what happens.
She started having a target on her back, I think, throughout high school, which made her job scoring more difficult. But she always did the right thing for the team. I mean, you're in the moment and you have to figure out whether the best thing is going to be to shoot or pass, and that's a fine line, but she always seemed to find it. I mean, she would gather 3 defenders around her and then just slot a perfect pass to a teammate too. So I don't know if she could be stopped.
She was just dangerous. When we got her the ball up top, she was a striker, and she was a pure striker. She had that nose for the net. She just was dangerous. I don't care with what foot it was on. She brought some special skills, and it was just fun to watch her. In my heart, I got excited every time she got the ball. I think the other coaches, probably every time she got the ball, they were a little bit fearful. It should have been.
Half the time I'm just sitting back there with a smile on my face, and people actually told me that later on. They just said, "Why do you always smile when you catch someone else's ball that they shot at you?" And I'm not trying to rub it in. I'm just thinking, there's no speed, there's no spin, there's no weight on this. That was easy compared to what I see in practice.
I have to say I was a little nervous coming in as a freshman. I had heard a lot about you and your reputation as a really good player, and so it made me a little nervous going into tryouts, but I couldn't have been happier. You were a great teammate. All the girls that came through that year were amazing teammates, and it was the best by far 4-year soccer I've ever played.
Anytime Sarah stepped up to take a shot, everyone kind of flinched, because there was about 3 or 4 games in a row where the pass came in to Sarah, she took a touch around a defender and rifled a shot and it smacked one of our players right in the face. I think it was Chelsea Vanderhoff. She had like a pentagon shape on her cheek starting the game because she wasn't paying attention, and Sarah just missed the post. But that started becoming like a good luck charm. If Chelsea got pegged before the game, we could say, oh, I think we're going to win this one.
Mr. Hewlings was the coach in high school, had this strategy that really appealed to me. And not only I could bring out like some of my skills really well, but also provided me the kind of like emotional support I needed to grow and to feel confident, to really challenge myself. And he was a motivational speaker as well, and so he would just give the most fabulous words of encouragement during halftime, or have these game plans in place every game where he would really try to motivate us through having some kind of theme for the day or theme for the week. And he was very good with making us set goals. And so I think one thing I learned playing soccer was that it's not about making a goal, it's about your process for setting goals, right? And so he was very good about showing us statistics and having short-term goals and longer-term goals, both like individually as well as a team. And I think that that's been something I've taken with me into a lot of other aspects of my life too.
Just a fabulous young lady and a fabulous athlete to coach. I'm honored by being asked just to say something, so I congratulate you and wish you well as you move forward, and thank you for allowing me to be your coach.
But I just want to say congratulations to you. You had a great run of those 4 years, and you absolutely deserve this, so congratulations.
Sarah, thank you for being the tenacious person that you were, that was always okay with pushing forward into a new realm of sports and women's sports. Thank you for laying the groundwork for so many athletes to come after you. We see that in the walls around the school, so I think you're very deserving. I'm very proud of you, and congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 2003, Dr. Sarah Reed.
Still only 5'1". First of all, thank you to the Lorings for making that fabulous video. They've all been really brave tonight. And thank you all for being here to share this evening, and especially to my family, who I think is occupying 4 or 5 of the tables right up front. I'm incredibly honored to be here tonight and thankful to the awards committee for choosing to induct me into the Hall of Fame. And a special thank you to my Aunt Joan for nominating me. Let me just use a brief minute to say that I predicted 10 years or so your son Noah may very well be up here as well. I'll put in a good word for you. Though I might not look that old, I grew up in a time when the popularity of soccer amongst young girls was really in its infancy. And it's due to countless experiences beyond my control and many individuals who cared for me that I even set foot on a soccer field, let alone grew to become a player who is worthy of this award today. I was fortunate to grow up in a time when soccer was really becoming more acceptable and accessible to girls and young women everywhere, and it was largely due to the star power of the United States soccer team in the mid-1990s that really catalyzed a lot of new opportunities for young girls. And so that was when competitive leagues started to emerge, and we were no longer consigned to solely playing on co-ed leagues. And I can easily thank all of the Mia Hamms and the Brandy Chastains of the world for popularizing soccer and making it a sport that suddenly became really cool to play. But really, I owe my gratitude to the dozens of people who supported me, who played with me, coached with me, and cheered for me. So first of all, thank you to all of my coaches, many of whom I've seen here this evening. Thank you for pushing me, believing in me, and more importantly, helping me to believe in myself. Dave Hewlings, I especially credit you for my evolution as a player and as a young woman. I came to you as a young girl who could kick a ball a really long way, and you transformed me into someone with focus, determination, adaptability, and a lot of emotional strength. Through your many seasonal themes and motivational pep talks and team building drills, you taught me far more about setting goals than perhaps you ever did about how to make them. To my parents, who took not one but 3 children all over the state and really all over the Midwest to countless soccer games, I don't know how you managed. You made games, practices, so many tournaments in support of all 3 of us. I can't imagine how much you spent on travel fees, equipment, injuries, Gatorade, etc. And how many countless hours it must have taken scheduling and coordinating, driving, and waiting for games to start. You were our tireless cheerleaders. My dad, who could rarely bring himself to sit in a bleacher because he'd rather pace with anxiety, and my mom with her signs and pom-poms and camera, always on hand. Dad, you taught me perseverance and to always get back up when I was down. And my mom, though she's not here tonight, taught me to enjoy the journey more than the destination. To the many, many fabulous teammates that I have had in high school as well as on other teams, especially the other members of the fabulous Freshman 5. In addition to high school soccer, we played sand soccer, 5-on-5, 3-on-3, indoor soccer, competitive leagues together. For those 4 years, I probably spent more time with you all than anyone else. Chelsea Vanderhoff, in addition to being a very trusted offensive powerhouse, made playing incredibly fun. Laura Ernst was always inspirational for her endurance, tough play through pain, and great vision. Laura Damheis's defensive leadership was invaluable, often stifling competition before they even threatened the net. And Mindy Ernie, a 4-year goalkeeper with numerous records to her own name, sitting right over there, could very well be standing up here on her own right. So on the field, these 4 instilled confidence. In the locker room, we motivated one another. And at practice, we made each other all the more competitive. So I want to share this award with the other members of the Freshman 5, without whom I would not have played with nearly as much heart or enjoyed the journey nearly as much.